Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As you can see by the title of today's video, carrying my dad in NBA 2K25. So, I know this is going to be a fun video for a lot of people out there, and fun for me as well. I'm out here hooping with my 50-plus-year-old father on 2K25, and I'm recommending him the low-risk shooting and all that stuff. He's on a free agent card in the My Team mode, for that matter, as well. So, he's on Jokic, as you see, and one of my dad's IRLs, for that matter, that I'm also playing with is on the MPJ build right here as well. So, I struck very lucky on some gold here, and you can see I'm on the pink diamond Giannis card, bro. I'm telling y'all, I really didn't rip that many packs. It was probably about like $20 worth, $25, and I got a card worth like literally a million plus MT. For those out there that play My Team, you'll definitely understand the value of the card. But I just want to let y'all know out there, if you are watching this video, it's not necessarily just My Team. This is 3v3 with us all three, me, my dad, and Billy, the IRL that I play with as well, that are all controlling the cards against 3 other users as well. And you can also see they have a pink diamond Giannis as well, with like a free agent Julius Erving and then also Draymond Green. So really good defensive lineup that they happen to have as well. But anyway, let's get straight into this gameplay. I hope y'all enjoy, and if you do, feel free to drop a like. Let's try and get this one to 2,000 likes. I won't lie, I do expect this video will perform worse than most that I upload, just because it is My Team at the end of the day. And as you can see, I mean, the low risk reigns powerful in this game mode. You can see my dad with Jokic trying to, you know, play the defense. We're trying to explain to him who to guard sometimes too. And I will not lie, he actually was playing pretty decent for that matter in some cases, but you can see he's kind of flying around and stuff like that as well. I actually ended up getting mashed on the first play right here, where I try and help Billy on the drive right there, and the dude kind of just happens to get down there easy. Now, I know this probably would be better if I used the live comm, but my dad didn't want it for, you know, work purposes and stuff like that. So I'm gonna, you know, respect his wishes on that. And you're just gonna have to take my word for it that this is obviously my dad and one of his IRLs as well that we're playing with. But yeah, like I said, Billy, the Eagles for the win. He got the MPJ, and I mean, the MPJ jumper was looking really nice as well. Obviously, so they're struggling to shoot in some cases, but that's what we're here for, man. That's what I'm here on Giannis for, to clean up the rebounds and be on the slasher stuff, try and create wide open jump shots for them. You can see this is after quite a few runs as well. We've been on this for a couple games, actually more than that, by the time that you're watching this. My dad started on KD, where he was I was much better shooting, for that matter, by the way, too, where my dad was using the KD jumper and the build and stuff like that. Whereas on the Jokic, it's a lot slower. You can see a lot of the shots that he misses, they will be earlies and slightly earlies and stuff like that, where I would put money on it that this one is going to be early. Yep, so as you can see, it's just naturally how it is. It's tougher for him to time the slow jump shot, and I think we'll try and find him a better card in the future that, you know, is something that he could actually use that is better jump shot and stuff like that. But if you guys have any suggestions in the comments, feel free to give them as well, as in terms of like ones that are good value cards, good jumpers and stuff like that. Again, you can see a little early from there. I'm playing straight box outs on their Giannis, and you can see that my dad comes out here and greens the corner 3 right there with Jokic. You can see he's like standing still. He's not getting back on D either. I'm actually a little bit more sweaty in this game mode, where normally I'm not telling him to switch arrows and stuff like that and guard someone that isn't just where his arrows are, because I'm trying to make it very simple on him to understand like the dynamic of where to go on the court and stuff. So for him to just follow his arrow is usually way easier for him. But in this case, I do want him guarding Draymond Green, because I would assume it's a much easier matchup for him than to deal with trying to guard Giannis on the interior and stuff like that. Granted, Giannis obviously tough to shoot with. He only has about a 65 three-pointer, I believe, and it is like an 80-something midi, so you can definitely get the job done with that. But yeah, definitely wanted to just put him somewhere that's a little bit easier to handle on defense a little bit. So you can see they're doubling me. They're just I titled this gameplay the Great Wall Giannis gameplay, because dudes were literally hitting me with the double, triple team, double crash, triple crash, just forcing my dad to shoot. And I mean, it's a good game plan necessarily, but it's not exactly how it goes. I'm making them look kind of bad with this gameplay. We'll have a couple others that and I don't know if I recorded them or not, where he shoots really good, but yeah, you can see he's having a hard time in this game for sure. But anyway, they're out on the break, 10-10. Obviously, it's been a tough gameplay. You can see we'll just pause the box score. My dad's 1 for 8. The one make that he has, he did green for that matter, and Billy hit a white as well. So far we've made 2 threes and only one of them green and stuff like that. They have only attempted 1 3-pointer for that matter. So rebounding wise, we're doing our job, you know, 7 boards. And to be fair, y'all really could agree that, yeah, for the spacing factor of things, it probably would be better. Right here, my dad thinks we're on defense, so it's like I'm waiting for the spacing to play out and stuff, and you can see it's just not happening. It's not coming. So it's just funny, you know, to be on here. And I will say, my dad's actually very good at other video games. Like, we play Halo and stuff, and he's really good at it. We play, you know, like Madden as well, and he does pass rush. He doesn't really use or cover or anything like that, but he's good at what he does in that regard. And he's been really good at other like actual fighter video games and stuff like that. And you know, this 2K stuff isn't exactly his cup of tea, you know, but you can see he bangs the white right there. So big shot, you know, we get a nice little lead off that. As far as the defense, he actually walls up pretty solid here. Obviously trying to jump a bit much in this case, especially where he's guarding Draymond, and you can probably get away with playing hands up D at a pretty good rate. But right there, gets backdoored. You know, this video is not me trying to dog on my dad playing 2K. It's just, it's fun, you know, to kind of show him as the bad player per se that I'm trying to carry a little bit. But it's been really good times, man. I really do want to stress the point of how well we've been playing on here. You can see I'm trying to actually set up a cut for Billy right there. He actually gets that to go really well. But I want to talk about how well we've actually been playing as a squad on here. We have only lost one game, and it's when I had him using the Kevin Garnett card as a free agent as well. And I was using like the season reward T-Mac pretty much, which is like a 95 overall for that matter too. And you would think it's really good, but his jumper is so cooked compared to what it was last year. I really don't know why. And I've been told it's the uppers as I asked around, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know too much about it. I just know T-Mac's jumper was terrible. I couldn't create with it, and I figured I'd be better used, you know, on my natural play style a little bit. So that's what we did. We switched me over to the Giannis free agent card that you can get for free, for that matter. I'm pretty freaking sure. And like, that's what we were doing. We had Billy out here on a free agent card as well. My dad's been using the free agent Jokic and the free agent KD and stuff. And it's interesting, you know, that you can play this game for free with friends or, you know, IRLs or your father for that matter. And you can actually get away with playing the game for free on a limited amount of games. The point of the free agent cards is that you can only use them for up to, I believe, 20 games, maybe 25. But it's still cool that you can do that and earn some MT while you're doing it. And I got to give 2K some props for that, because I do think it's a good ball for sure that they're like allowing you to do that. Now, you can see I have the See the Future takeover on this, and I think that's really useful. And you can see Billy Green's the game winner 3 right there. So we end the game with them both hitting 2 threes. And hey, this is the type of stuff that we kind of have to be on sometimes, where, like I said, they were packing the paint, forcing my teammates to shoot. And in that case, I'm here to rebound and assist. I have the gold dimer. I like, you know, put the extra badges on and all that stuff. And, you know, we're here to try and allow for easy shot opportunities for my IRLs, if you will, or my dad and his IRL. But anyway, let's get into the next gameplay. All right, so this one, it was for the 10-game win streak, our first attempt at a 10 game. And actually, it's the second attempt. For whatever reason, he ran out of games to be able to play on his KD card. Like, it was the free agent card, obviously, right? So he ran out of the limited amount of games that he has on it at 9 games on our last streak. So this is for our first actual attempt at a 10, because we couldn't even get the opportunity to play for the other one. So you can see, like, this is, for instance, the card he was using, the free agent KD, and then this was the one I was using, which was the free agent Giannis. It's not what's in this gameplay right here. And also, shout out Ruby Paul George. It's a really good card, even still. I've been watching a little bit of videos from the My Team YouTubers and stuff to be a little bit more informed, to help my dad and Billy out with this stuff. You can see, though, this was the God Squad lineup. Now, my boy Billy, he ended up spending a little bit, you know, on some pack pulls and stuff like that. Ended up with Chet Holmgren, and that is a really good card, and it's just even more nasty for our lineup. So it lines me up at the 1. Now, in this case, they do have KD at the 1, who is still like, you know, 6'11" or something like that. But either way, it's going to be really good. It'll set Billy up to play the bigs. I'd like to think Billy's a little bit more tentative on defense than my dad is. So for my dad to just guard the 2s and stuff, and it can probably be a little bit easy for him to just run around and guard guys on the perimeter and stuff like that. Billy being able to just guard the bigs, I think it's probably a good idea. You see a mini lag spike on that, but yeah. He hits a red close shot. You'll see me actually hit a red close shot as well. And granted, that's just what this mode is a little bit. But you are going to see these guys do hit me with the single team quite a bit. Like, I really am not going to get double teamed too much here. I'm going to be able to mash out. We're going with the drop step into the close shot and stuff like that as well. You will see some dunk meter gameplay in this video as well. But it's really, really dominant with Giannis as well, for that matter. But anyway, yeah, I kind of beat off the dribble. We give up the wide open 3-pointer right there. But honestly, for anybody that's out here that wants to play this style, also shout out to my dad, almost getting the pluck steal right there. You can see I try and go for that ghost right there, getting open. It is what it is. But for those of you out there that want to play this game mode, I really suggest leave people open on the 3 a little bit more than you would like think to, you know? Like, people really got to work on their timing in this, or if they run the low risk and stuff like that, it does go in, but not at a crazy rate. And packing the paint and making sure that you do not give up dunks is definitely major key number 1. So like in this case right here, you know, playing a lot of gap defense and stuff like that, it's still really good. Now, there's meter dunk number 1 with Giannis, but obviously it was still wide open, so don't take too much to heart with that. I get beat on the transition right there. I was trying to kind of communicate with Billy to pick that up, but, you know, like I said, it's a little bit tougher for the novices, if you will, to understand the whole switching dynamic. And right there, I get bumped, so I'm looking like a bit of the novice, if you will. And then he gets the wide open lay. So tough sequence, obviously, right there. But like I said, this is a game where they're going to let me kind of cook a little bit more. I think they would be smart to switch, and as you can see, they do in this case. So we got Giannis on me. So it's not like they're bots that are just, you know, keeping the arrows. It's not like they're playing with randoms or anything like that. It's still them and their boys playing with, like, the squad together. But anyway, Giannis, he is jumping for joy a little bit, so we get him to get punished on that. And what I wanted to do with the arrows, essentially, right, is I wanted to get my dad and Billy both on cards that are taller than Giannis, or at least a position up on them. So in this case, Chet and Jokic are both centers, and Giannis is a power forward. So I'll be lined up at the point guard position. So if we do run into some people who aren't willing to play the switches and stuff like that, or zone things, sort of, if you will, it'll allow me a situation where I have really easy matchups with the dominating the point guards of the other team and stuff like that. Or also, for that matter, it just gets me the arrow off rip and makes it so my dad doesn't have to get confused with the, you know, arrow switching and stuff like that, where I can just guard the other team's point guard, which is what I want to do, for sure. So I go for a floater right there, and this is what I was talking about. I hit a red with it. Oh, man, that is fluky for sure, but you don't really see it a lot. I know y'all probably think it's the most arcadey mode ever. It is tough to mash down low. It is tough to get like a ton of, you know, paint takes and stuff like that, but that's why I say I think you should play primarily paint D a little bit. It's still very tough to shoot in this game. Right here you can see I'm trying to get on the break. I get another turnover, so you know I'm out here kind of selling a little bit for sure. But anyway, we get my dad matched up on Giannis. A lot of times I'm telling him to just play paint D right here when he does get on Giannis and just not really play the 3 at all. Obviously, you know, just play paint defense. You can see he's kind of getting cut on sometimes though there, and I think if he just would go feet planted in the paint, it's probably good enough, honestly. But right there, me and Billy get caught up on each other on the wrap. We get the nice rebound opportunity right there. Now I'm really trying to avoid these steal opportunities, and boom, we're going into the meter dunk on. If it was this playable in Park, I tell you what, I would be on way more of like a slasher type gameplay. But you can see unfortunate rebound opportunity right there. But yeah, Giannis, you know, trying to get down low. We get a goaltend off that. It looks very arcadey as far as the gameplay, but I promise it's actually just kind of some fluky stuff going on. Plus, also just I'd like to think that dunk meter stuff was just a good opportunity for me. But anyway, you can see my dad's now at the B button, greening the 3 right there. Really good look for him. And I gotta say, when he started catching on to the fact that he just has to hold the jump shot a lot longer, it ended up really good for us. Now right here, man, double screens. tough, because obviously I don't want to have to communicate too much. I don't want to make this a sweaty experience for my dad and Billy, for that matter, where we're like, you know, I'm yapping out comms and stuff that are really super toxic, sweaty, or anything like that. Trying to keep it very simple, you know. And right there, out on the break, he hits me, getting the meter dunk to go as again. But yeah, like wraps and like the screens and stuff, I told him to just switch, and that's what he was telling me. Rather than to play sides and tell him like anything like that, he just said if I say switch, he'll be able to, you know, pull it off. So I figured why not? We'll just, like, you know, correlate to their terminology a little bit more. That's probably a good situation to kind of conform to. So anyway, game point right here. We have 16 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist. And I gotta say, it was really good in terms of like, you know, me hunting my own dunks and shots, if you will. But anyway, you can see my dad hits me back with the nice pass back. I do see he's helping a lot, so I'm going to my dad for the game point. He, however, defers to me and gets a nice pass back. And I gotta say, that's actually really good from him. I mean, normally he's been letting it fly a little bit, but I guess he was willing to, you know, live with the 1-for-1 game right here. And this is a very rare one. I did want to show you guys this one because I'm not gonna lie, it was rare that I got really easy opportunities at like shots for myself. A lot of the stuff that you may see is gonna be a lot more like me having to pass my teammates and just crashing the rebounds like crazy. So like, for instance, different screenshot right here, I was only able to get to like 5 field goal attempts, and Billy ended up 5 for 8. We had some cuts implemented as well. I've been doing that a little bit, where if I see that my matchup is playing pretty tight on me because I am Giannis and he's trying to like stop me in my dribble attempts rather than to just sit paint and like sag off. Because I still even get to the floater sometimes too. But point being, I can get some good cut calls for them and stuff too and get them easier buckets. So I know me not being on a shooting player, if you will, is a little bit tougher for my teammates, but it does really help to have an offensive rebound crash for if your teammates are a little bit tougher at shooting. And you know, at the end of the day, it's wide open shots, so it's something that my dad wants to do. All right, so to end the video, I want to show one of my dad's better games as far as like performance wise. So you can see it's not like a super crazy lineup these guys have. Kwame at center, I actually didn't even know he could shoot for that matter, so we started leaving him open at the beginning of the game. But this is where I was talking to you guys about the toxic kind of lineup that we have, where I am lined up at the point guard, so I get Trae Young on me off rip, and this is where it's gonna be really tough for them as far as like actually stopping me and matching up well and stuff. So getting into this, again, it's the same matchups where we have my dad at the 2, we got Billy at the 3 with Chet, and then, yeah, Jokic at the 2, and then I have the point guard matchups for me. So I understood that going into this, that it'd be something we could manipulate really well, and the fact that it doesn't really require them to make a build or anything like that either. I can just literally come out here and have Giannis, you know, as a free agent card, and this pink diamond I was fortunate enough to get as well. I know a lot of people were talking about, I posted that to Twitter, and they were talking about the 2K YouTuber, like Pack Luck and stuff, which, hey, I don't know. I'm not here to deny that that might be a thing. I definitely have not been in any talks with 2K manipulating whether I get a good card or not, but man, I don't know. I guess it's, you know, it's a strategy if they did kind of slip it in there and sneak it, because obviously it's something that would maybe bring you guys more content, for instance, that promos this gameplay or something like that. But yeah, no, I didn't end up getting any, you know, free card or anything like that, and they didn't tell me about any pack luck per se. So just wanted to preface that a little bit. You can see right there, that dude, I actually don't even know what the player's name was. I didn't really see it or anything like that. I try and go for the meter dunk. Don't get knocked out by a 6'1" point guard with no interiority. That's a beautiful thing, you know, and you have a 96 overall pink diamond card doing that. Anyway, besides the point, we're still gapping Kwame, but this dude bangs it. It greens it with the shot stick and everything. So I'm telling them, like, yeah, this dude's probably a little bit locked. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the dude's using the rhythm shooting. It's probably a good, you know, player, I would like to think. So anyway, getting another meter dunk on him right there. Look at Giannis with the blowout dribble, the crossover, all that stuff. This dude is an absolute freak in nature, bro. I can only wish I could actually create a build like this when it comes to playing in the My Player Builder. But problem is, you can't really have this type of ball handle, speed with ball, while being this tall either, you know? So it's truly something that's foreign to the My Player Builder and is really just only in this My Team mode. Now, you can see they're locked in. They're ready to shoot, man. They're coming out here. They've already greened 2 threes. They, you know, are stick shooting or not, whatever the case may be. The Trae Young card's only like an 86 overall too, but yeah, I'm just taking it in, going for the meter dunks. If they're not going to help quickly enough or just pack the paint, I'm making it simple as that. And if they do pack the paint, I'm going to be making sure that I'm down there for the offensive rebound while my teammates are actually trying to get the shots off. So my dad fights to the wrap right there, pretty good, you know, getting to the corner. Kwame's trying to ISO again. We got Billy just, you know, kind of strapping up on that. However, once again, he tries to wrap through, and we're fortunate enough that he misses open. You know, and like I said, that's a thing for sure. So my dad goes to the nice little cut there. Trae Young tries to stop it. I was like, hey, that's probably not going to be a good time to stop no matter what. I don't care if Jokic just driving lay is low or anything like that. I don't care what the case may be. A 6'1" guard trying to guard any of us on the paint or on the cut is probably a tough time. So I think they're going to try and, you know, understand they're going to have to gap things a lot more and send a lot of help on the Trae Young matchup per se. But right here, however, I'm getting into that transition. We're going with that dunk meter. I know you do see me early getting a lot of points. Obviously, I have 12 of our 14 points, but I did, like I told you guys, this is one of my dad's better performances as far as the gameplay. So right here, this is obviously a tough situation for anybody that's a little bit new to the game of understanding the terminology of what to switch on and what not to switch on. In this case, that we are all 3 on bigs, I think we can all afford to switch almost anything. I don't want to get him stuck on point guards though, more often than not, but this right here, I probably need to switch with him on. I should probably do exactly what I did right here of trying to get to him. However, you would argue that the same type of terminology of trying to switch back would make sense, but this is where my instincts take over a little bit. It's something that I should probably more so think is easy on him to just follow the arrow, because the whole switch this, switch that, you know, zone this, zone that, follow this, follow that is very complicated in the grand scheme of things. And sometimes, even though it's gonna be harder on the sticks to be able to like try and just fight through everything, it makes it more simple. But yeah, it is something that takes away from the versatility of the lineup a little bit, of us all being able to guard anything pretty much. And I say that with a grain of salt because obviously Jokic is a little bit slower for sure, but it's a situation where as long as you can move with them decent on the stick, you can all rebound, you can all guard the paint. And Perimdi is more up to the interpretation of skill, per se. And like I said, it's a little bit tougher for him to deal with when he's on a 60 speed Jokic. So into the transition, I go for the meter dunk. Kind of wilding out right there. Obviously should not have gone for that. Telling Billy you probably have my dad open there, but it's all good. He's trying to go down to the post. Me and Billy in the past, if you guys are locked in with my content since 2K20, I did a series where I was playing with my IRL, quote unquote, like that, you know, was Billy. And we had him on the stretch big while I had a 6'6" pure lock back in the day. Also, shout out to my dad, Green in the 3 once again. He was actually hooping in these late runs. But yeah, so the 2v2 2K20 content was me and Billy. I was playing on a pure lock that could ISO. That was like a pure slasher, if you will. It had no shooting at all. And I was playing the point guard with it. And Billy was on like a stretch big, for instance. And we had him kind of labbing up how to do the post game a little bit. So that is a little bit of something that he did back in the day that maybe he doesn't know how to do in this game quite as much, but definitely is still there as far as the history of him like being on the game. And he obviously can at least attempt to do the same thing. Right here, going with a little bit of a hop dunk opportunity, but nothing happening. So my dad gets left open again. Again, anything he's missed on this Jokic card has been early, almost every single time. So it's just tough because I can relate to it, man. I was using that T-Max stuff and the jumper was super slow, and that's the case with this Jokic card too. The KD jumper was so good as well, so it was just something that's tougher for him to deal with, obviously, when transitioning from a really good jump shot to a really bad one, in my opinion. Anyway, this Kwame Brown is dogging it out in the paint, and we now only have a 2-point lead. So gotta lock in a little bit right here. Trey goes for that bump steal right there, really tough off the inbound. And I don't know if that's what his emote was about, that he thinks he almost got me. Yeah, it is true, he did almost get me. But anyway, Trey's trying to get real reachy again. I'm hitting that blowout dribble, trying to get straight down to the paint. You can see I actually get to another standing dunk opportunity super quick. And again, man, whew, that Giannis card is something else, bro. Crazy speed with ball. I don't even know what his dribble style is. I guess it's just Giannis dribble style. I've actually seen it with the load ups and stuff. It can be really tough sometimes for me to move when it's like non-crossover. Another little bit of a lag spike right there. But anyway, Billy gets a nice block, but now we're out in transition a little bit. So getting to reaching, and I gotta say, my dad earned a little reputation while we were running where this man was hitting the game point shots like crazy. I don't know what it was. It was almost on some like 2K17 stuff with the actual game point badge where he was just coming out here actually gaming it like crazy. But anyway, I'm trying to get the post up on Trey, assuming that they're going to send the double team at me, and man, they are just reaching like crazy. But anyway, same thing applies. Gonna try and get down low. Obviously this time I'm gonna look for a little bit of dot. So I try and get down in the cut. Obviously, a little bit of help's going to end up coming here. So, try and hit the post spin, and then nothing doing. Billy's going to try and get the open shot to go. Doesn't get it. So, then my dad's going to get the opportunity off the O board. And here we go. Game point. You just got big. So, here's the thing. We're going to come down the next possession. They end up missing it. Now we're out in transition a little bit. Gonna obviously dot up right here. He's wide open. I got to still get into the offense rebound opportunity area, but he bangs the white. So, 2 for 4, 50%. I like to think that's pretty respectable. I mean, he's out here shooting better than everybody else on the game, I'd like to think. There have only been a couple of people locked in enough to shoot really well in this game. And granted, he is using low risk. I definitely thought that was going to be a good idea. He was on normal risk early on, and I think going to low definitely buffed his shooting percent by quite a bit. And I do think, though, that it's a good idea for a lot of you guys out there if you're playing the My Team stuff, because it's tough to learn other people's jump shots on the fly. You're using random different cards, you know, switching back and forth here and there between them, and it can be tough. Especially if you're using like the multiple mode, where you're using like 3 cards at a time or 5 cards at a time, or you have a bench and stuff like that, and the actual like 5v5 gameplays. It can be tough. So I'd like to think low risk probably pays off more often than not. But anyway, that's all video. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. Like I said, it's a little bit more near and dear to like my heart as far as the gameplay goes, but obviously I don't expect it's going to perform super good because it is still My Team content at the end of the day. It's not something that's searchable and like, you know, helpful to you or anything like that either. So I don't know. I'm sure it'll flop a little bit, but I could be wrong. I've been proven wrong a lot on these videos. So if y'all could drop a like, I'd appreciate it. If you want to see more of this, let me know, but I'm assuming the answer is potentially no. But I mean, hey, when I can like record videos with my dad and having a good time playing the game with him, I think it's like a pretty good experience just overall, and like well worth my time, obviously. So if you want to see more of this, I would really appreciate it if you guys did. But if you don't, I totally understand. It's, you know, not exactly the native gameplay we're used to or anything like that. This is a little bit odd, obviously, coming out here playing on the Rivet City Park and stuff like that. But honestly, I think 2K did a great job at allowing this game mode to be a thing. With Triple Threat Online, I really wanted to do this in previous years with my dad and Billy, but it was just a little too hard to attain the cards. The free agent cards currently are really usable and really good. I think that's the problem, is like if you fast forward a couple months into the future, they probably will be bad cards per se. So it's just a good time to be playing this right now. And it's free to play, obviously, as far as like if you buy the game, then you hop on here. The free agent cards are free. So yeah, I think it's a fun time for sure. But anyway, that's all video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub for new channel notice, all that good stuff. And like always, try to win 2,000 likes. If you made it to the end of the video, put Billy or put Dad in the comments, first person I through. Shout out to these two. I've played games with them a long time. It's been like years and years and years. And yeah, my dad's always had me in his friends friend circle, if you will, where I just play games with him and his friends and stuff. And we've been doing that for years, back to like Rock Band, Guitar Hero, stuff like that, Halo, all your classic white people nonsense. So anyway, shout out to him, shout out to Billy, and shout out to you guys for watching. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed. Take it easy, man. Peace.